Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Nice to meet you. My name is Asia. Today we're gonna do a video that I've never done before, but I love watching other people do, so I thought, why not make one? I have seen so many booktubers tier rank their 5-star books, all the books they've read in 2024, and I saw a lot of people do tier ranking famous Booktok books that I've read. So that's what we're doing today. So I'm gonna tier rank all the famous popular Booktok books that I've read in the last 3-4 years of Booktok. So first of all, we're gonna go through all the different ranks that I've made. So we have the best books, the 5 stars, the 6 stars books. My Roman Empire that I think about every day, they're the God tier ones. And then we have just below, I think he dropped something. My jaw. You know the sound, right? I think you dropped something. My jaw are for the great books, the ones that I loved so much. But they're not like my Roman Empires. They're not like the ones that I can't live without, you know, that I think about every day. They're great books. And some of them might be 5 stars, but they're not 6 stars. You know what I mean? And then we have, you were good, but I'm waiting for you to be great. Like 4 stars. That like they're good, they're very good, but like they're not great. They could have been incredible, you know what I mean? And then the ones that we were rooting for you is you were meh. I probably forgot about you. You were not that memorable. I thought you had potential, but no. And then we got this was Coachella 2016. It's for those books that at the time they slapped. It was Coachella 2016, you know, it slapped back in the day. But right now, this is not my taste anymore. And then Brother is for the, no, not for me, not my thing. And then we got here, all the famous Booktok books that I read. I didn't put every single one because this would have been a 55 hours long video. So I can do a part 2 of this because there's so many more famous Booktok books I read. Also, I really want to do tier ranking all the books that I've rated 5 stars in my life because I feel like some of them I strongly disagree with now. I didn't put every single book of every series. I just put the first one. So for example, here we have like The Deal. The Deal is like, I'm talking about off campus. You know, same thing. Throne of Glass, I'm talking about the Throne of Glass series, not just the Throne of Glass book. All the famous series, I just put the first book in here. I feel like we should start. We should give it a go. Some of these opinions are gonna be a little bit controversial. It's okay, that's why it's fun. So let's start with probably one of the Booktok books. Booktok OG, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This one is going straight to God tier. I think it's a freaking incredible book. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid so much. This book started, like this was a monumental moment for Booktok. It's a great book. It's famous, it's hyped, but it's not overhyped. I think it's appropriately hyped. It's so not what I was expecting when I started it, and it changed my life. Let's go to another very famous book right now that I don't even think you know I read. I'm gonna go with Binding 13, and I'm talking about the series, but I've only read the first 2. So when I talk about Binding 13, I'm talking about Binding 13 and Keeping 13. I haven't read the rest. I read them when I was extremely ill 2.5 years ago. I don't remember a lot from them. I remember just crying my eyes out for hours on end and thinking they were absolutely great. But I don't know why I never continued the series. I think 2025 is the year I'm gonna finish this series because everyone freaking loves it. So I'm gonna put it, I think you dropped something, My Jaw. I can't put it in the God tier because I only read 2 books out of 5. I'm pretty sure there's 5 out there. So I can't put in God tier, but I think you dropped something, My Jaw. But it was so sad. Got me in my feels. I cried for hours and I'm not an easy crier, so if you can make me cry, you're automatically a great book. Okay, so next, let's go with the first one here, The Soulmate Equation. I don't remember much. I'm not gonna lie, I read it like probably 3-4 years ago. I don't remember much. So if I don't remember much from it, it means you were good, but I'm waiting for you to be great. Because if you were great, I probably would remember you a bit more. And when I tell you I don't remember anything from this book, I'm not exaggerating. And I'm gonna put another one in the You Were Good, but I'm Waiting for You to Be Great, is You and Me on Vacation. I don't know if this is controversial. This is definitely my least favorite Emily Henry book. I love Emily Henry, but this book just didn't do it for me. But I don't love Friends to Lovers, so that might be on me. That might be my fault. Next, we're gonna do the Graham effect. And we're gonna put it straight to I Think You Dropped Something in My Jaw. I loved it. I loved it. I love Elle Kennedy. I know that she's not for everyone. I do. She's for me. I'll eat it up every single time she puts out a hockey romance. I will be there. I haven't read The Dixon Rule. I know there's a second book, so I haven't read that. I only read The Graham Effect. It slapped. It was great. I loved it so much. Next, maybe the most famous Booktok book of all time. It Ends With Us. There's a lot of controversy going on about it, around it, especially right now after the movie. Everyone is suing. I can't wait to see the court hearing. That's gonna be so great. I think this was Coachella 2016, but I read it so many years ago. I read it 5 years ago. So this was Coachella 2016. Do you know what I mean? At the time, she slapped. She was Coachella 2016. She moved, she changed the world. And we gotta admit, she did change the world, but she's not for me anymore. And that's okay. Next, we're gonna do The Sun Impatient. Sun Impatient, I Think You Dropped Something in My Jaw. It did. You did drop something in my jaw. I loved it. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. There's even a vlog on this channel. I'm gonna put it somewhere there if you want to go and have a look. I thought it was great. It's a thriller. There's a great plot twist that I did not see coming, and it was incredible. Next one we have is Love Theoretically by Ali Wood, and this is gonna be controversial. Don't get mad at me. We were rooting for you. I was rooting for her. She didn't deliver. For me, it didn't work out. It didn't do it for me. I read like 3 or 4 of her books, and this is definitely my least favorite. I just didn't love her, the girl main character. She just bothered me a little bit, and once I don't like the main character, I'm done. It's not gonna work out for me. Next one we're gonna do, let's do a series. Let's do the Twisted series, the Twisted Love by Anna Huang. Alright, this is a bit hard to rate because I'm rating the whole series, not just the book. Because Twisted Love, I didn't like. The first book would have been like we were rooting for you, you know? But Twisted Games is I Think You Dropped Something in My Jaw. So we're gonna do an average, and I think we're gonna put it in You Were Good, but I'm Waiting for You to Be Great. But Twisted Games is incredible. I know they're making a TV show now. I cannot wait. Reese, I cannot wait, girl. So yeah, as a whole, as an average for the series, we're gonna put it in You Were Good, but I'm Waiting for You to Be Great. But it's a good series. Let's do another one. Let's do another series. Let's go with one that I know exactly where it goes. Throne of Glass. Straight to God tier. Nothing will ever compare to Throne of Glass, best series of all time. It's a fantasy series by Sarah J. Maas. She has 3 series. I'm pretty sure all of them are Booktok books, so all of them are here somewhere. Yes, they are. And it's God tier. Throne of Glass is my favorite series of all time. Not every single book is God tier, but as a whole, it's a God tier series. No doubts. No doubts. My favorite book of all time is Kingdom of Ash, which is the last book in this series. So, let's do standalone. Let's do Beach Read by Emily Henry. One of the most famous standalones on Booktok. And I'm gonna put her in I Think You Dropped Something in My Jaw. I think you did. It's not good tier for me. I know a lot of people think that Beach Read is God tier for them. It wasn't for me. She's not my favorite book by Emily Henry, but she's a great book. It's a great book. It's a great book, which is way deeper. I think that's with all Emily Henry's books. They're way deeper than what they look like. That looks like a cute little beach read. No, there's much more. There's many more layers, and that's why I love her book so much. Okay, let's go with a controversial one. Don't hate me, okay? I'm gonna put Normal People in We Were Rooting for You. I haven't watched the series. I know everyone loves the series. I haven't watched it. I read the book. It didn't do it for me. I wish they just talked, you know? I wish they just had a cute little chat. I hate miscommunication, and I fear that's the main plot. I didn't hate it. I really enjoyed the writing. I just found it so frustrating. But I think it's the whole point of the book. Let's do one of my favorite series of 2024. I read the whole series in 2024, and it's the Windy City series. And I Think You Dropped Something in My Jaw. I think it could move into God tier, but there's one more book. I'm gonna wait for that book to come out, and then I fear this is gonna go there. For now, we're gonna keep it here. Just because of Mile High, because the first book is like a 3.5 stars for me. And then the other ones are like 4.5, and 5 stars. So if Mile High was a 4 or a 4.5, it would have been a God tier. But she's a 3.5. So we're gonna put it on I Think You Dropped Something My Jaw. I love it. I love that series so much. My favorite is Play Along. It was one of my favorite books of 2025. 5 stars. I think about it every day. Okay, let's go with Things We Never Got Over. Things We Never Got Over is We Were Rooting For You. I only read the first book. So this is not the whole series. I only literally read Things We Never Got Over. The Knock 'Em Out series, I didn't love it. So I didn't keep going with the series because I didn't think that it would have been for me. I can see how some people really like it. It just wasn't for me. The plot was not what I expected. So much happened that I didn't sign up for. I think personal taste, I didn't love the love story. It was a little bit too long, I think, for me. Okay, let's do a Brother. I am sorry. I'm sorry. The Hating Game. I hate The Hating Game. I hate it. I said it. Don't be mad at me. I'm sorry if that's your favorite book. We'll agree to disagree. The Hating Game didn't do it for me. I literally didn't like it at all. She just talked about Smurfs and how small she was the whole time. Too many Smurfs and too much. I'm so small and he's so big. She sounded like a pick-me. And once again, I didn't like the main character. I'm not gonna like the book. Let's go with a good one. Let's do another God tier. Addicted to You. The Addicted series, the whole series, is a God tier for me. I read it like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, a while. And I think about it every day. And I'm now reading about their kids. There's a spin-off series called the Leica series, but it's not really famous on Booktok, so I didn't put it here. The Leica series is slaps as well. It's not God tier though, but the Addicted series is God tier. It's incredible. It's 10 books, I believe, or something like that. It's a lot of books, but they all incredible. Some of my favorite characters of all time, a found family that I love so much. I think about it every day. Next, we're gonna do one of the most famous Booktok series at the moment, Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I'm gonna put it in You Were Good, but I'm waiting for you to be great. Because the first book was I Think You Dropped Something My Jaw. Second and third didn't do it for me. So as an average, we're gonna do You Were Good, but I'm waiting for you to be great. Reckless and Powerful, they were a bit too YA for me, I think. But Powerless I really did like, even though there's a lot of controversy about it right now because it is the spec copy of Red Queen. It's the spec copy of Red Queen, and Red Queen came way before. So I think You Were Good, but I'm waiting for you to be great. Now, let's do a God tier. Let's do a God tier, Babel. I read Babel in 2024. It was an absolute surprise for me that it would be a God tier. I thought I would hate it. But I do like Dark Academia. And I thought this was a genius concept, genius execution, incredible writing. I cried. It made me reflect so much. It was amazing. It's a God tier book that I think about so often. I literally was talking about it today to a friend of mine. Okay, let's do Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. That's another very famous book by Taylor Jenkins. I feel like all Taylor Jenkins Reid books become Booktok books. And I'm gonna put it in. I wish there was a tier in between. I mean, I could make it. I really did like it. Malibu Rising is great. Not my favorite book of hers, but I Think You Dropped Something My Jaw, I think works pretty well. It would probably be in between the two. Next, which one should we do next? Let's do a recent edition. I read this not that long ago. I think it was November or December. The Mindfuck series. And I'm gonna put it in I Think You Dropped Something My Jaw. I don't know if it's controversial. I actually freaking love the Mindfuck series. It was not very realistic. Like, if you're expecting something that could happen, no, it's not. But it was very mild, dark romance, very mild. And it was on her side. She was the dark side. So I like that. I respect women's rights and I respect women's wrongs. I liked it. I actually loved it. It was so fun. Because there's like 5 books and they're very tiny. The last book was my least favorite out of them all, but they all kind of slapped. Especially the beginning, it was so good. Okay, should we do a controversial one? No, let's leave it. Let's leave it a little bit. Let's leave it for a little bit. Let's do another famous Booktok book, Verity. I know we don't like Colleen Hoover, okay? We don't. But I loved Verity at the time. I think it's gonna stay there. I think we dropped something my jaw. It was great. I loved it so much at the time. Do I remember what it's about? Not really. 4 or 5 years ago. So It's hazy, but I remember thinking, this is great. So I'm gonna put it there. But it might actually be here, because I'm sure if I reread it now, I'll be like, it's not that great. I don't know if this is controversial. Please don't hate me. But I think at the time I loved it. But I'm sure if I reread it, I wouldn't feel the same, but it's fine. Let's do a God tier. Let's do a God tier. ACOTAR, you know me. A Court of Thorns and Roses. I will never shut up about Sarah J Maas. Unfortunately, I'm that girl. I love it. Same thing. Not every single book is God tier. I would say almost all of them are. The first book isn't, and then they slap, all of them. My favorite book is the last one, A Court of Silver Flames. Love it so much. Next, let's do a very recent read for me. All Roads Lead Here. I read it literally 2 weeks ago. And I'm gonna put it in. I think You Dropped Something in My Jaw. It was great. I loved it so much. Once again, I think it would be in between, but I think maybe I should really add another tier. Should we add another tier? Okay, I added a tier. So in this tier, we're gonna move these three. And I feel better about myself. Okay, this is good. So on this lapped, we're gonna have All Roads Lead Here, Verity, and Malibu Rising. Let's keep going. Next, we're gonna use The Nightingale. The Nightingale was, I think You Dropped Something in My Jaw. Could be a God tier, but I cried a little bit too much. I think it was a little bit too sad. Another very famous duology on Booktok was Divine Rivals. And we're gonna put Divine Rivals on this slapped. It did slap, but I don't think it was as incredible as some of these. I preferred Divine Rivals to Ruthless Vows. Divine Rivals would probably be, I think You Dropped Something in My Jaw, but Ruthless Vows would not be. So that's why I'm gonna, as an average, I'm gonna put it on this slapped. It did slap. It was great, but you know. Caraval, we're gonna put it once again on this slapped. I loved the first book. The first book is literally, I think You Dropped Something in My Jaw. Caraval, the first book, incredible. Second and third, I don't love Tella. I didn't like the sister. I didn't like Tella. So I didn't love the second and third book. I haven't read Spectacular. I know there's a novella that just came out literally like last month. I haven't read that yet. But I know that's about Tella once again. So, but yeah, Caraval, this slapped. But the first book was incredible. Done and dusted. We're gonna put it on You Were Good, but I'm Waiting for You to Be Great. It was good, but it wasn't great. I think it was okay. Do you know what I mean? I think it was like a 3.5 stars for me. It's a cowboy romance, quite cute, quite easy to read. You were good. She was good. Okay, guys, let's do a great one. Bride. Bride, I think You Dropped Something in My Jaw. Bride, I fucking loved it. Every second of it, I loved. I know not everyone did. I loved it. Ali Iswood, this is what I want. This is what I want. Let's do Once Upon a Broken Heart. Once Upon a Broken Heart, we're gonna put once again on this lapped. I didn't love the last book. So it's 3 books, it's a trilogy. First book was good. Second book was I think You Dropped Something in My Jaw. Third book was You Were Good. So as an average, we're gonna put it in this lapped. But the second book in this is a 5 stars. The Ballad of Never After, incredible. Then we're gonna put Icebreaker. Icebreaker, we're gonna put it on You Were Good, but I'm Waiting for You to Be Great. I preferred the first book to the second. I haven't read the third. I know there's Daydream. I haven't read Daydream. I read Icebreaker and Wildfire. And I preferred Icebreaker. A bit too long. And I know a lot of people are dragging it nowadays on Booktok. It's like, oh, girls just like smut and spice, and you read what you want to read. No one should shame you for what you like to read. Whatever you like to read, don't apologize for it. Because I know a lot of people nowadays on Booktube are talking awful things about it and say like, oh, nowadays girls only like spice and only like smut. If you only like spice and smut, guess what? That's fine. It's your books. You read what you like. So we're gonna put it on You Were Good, but I'm waiting for you to be great. For Icebreaker. She was good though. I enjoyed it. Let's do controversial, guys. I think it's time. I didn't like it. This is How You Lose the Time War. I thought it was a bit pretentious. I didn't like it. I pretty much hated it. No. Not a no for me. An absolute no for me. No. People are like, oh, if you didn't enjoy it, you didn't get it. I got it. I got the plot. I understood it. I still didn't like it. I didn't like the writing. I didn't like the plot. I'm sorry. If that's your favorite book, I really apologize. Let's do a great one. One Dark Window. And by One Dark Window, I mean the duology, the Shepherd Kings. I think You Dropped Something in My Jaw. It was incredible. Gothic fantasy romance. and it just slapped the whole time. It was good. It was so good. Strongly recommend reading The Shepherd's King duology. The second book is even better than the first. The second book is so good. Two Twisted Crowns. Oh. Let's do Happy Place by Emily Henry. I pretty much got most of Emily Henry's books here. Let's put on this lap because I prefer Happy Place to You and Me on Vacation, but definitely prefer Beach Read to Happy Place. It was okay. It was good. I gave it 4 stars, I'm pretty sure. But I didn't love the couple, but I loved the found family situation and the setting. But I didn't love the couple. But the writing is always that good that it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna put it on this lap. Now, let's do another Mariana Zapata book. We got From Look Up With Love. And I'm gonna put it on this lap. It did slap. It was great. I love a sport romance. You'll find me in every single sport romance there is. I'll be there. I'll sign me up. So I enjoyed it very much. I think I preferred Old Roads lead here. Now let's do another controversial one. Wild Love by Elsa Silver. It's a We Were Rooting For You. I didn't love it. I thought it was mid. I preferred the Chestnut Spring series 10 times. I only read the first one. So I only read Wild Love. I haven't read Wild Eyes just because I didn't like the first one. So I was like, I'm not gonna read the second one. But everyone says the second one is better than the first, so I might give it a go. I haven't read Wild Eyes, but Wild Love didn't wow me. I was rooting for her. And I went in thinking, oh, it's gonna be great. I love Elsa Silver. So didn't do it for me. Once again, I didn't like the main character. I didn't like her. I didn't really love him either, but I really didn't like her. So that made it for me. The Talk of the Moment, Fourth Wing, because Onyx Term is coming out next week. Not in 2 days. I think you dropped something, my jaw. I love Fourth Wing. I'm not gonna put it in God tier because there's only 2 books and it's a series. And Iron Flame didn't hit as much as Fourth Wing. So I need to see if the next one, because if the next one as well doesn't hit as much, it's not a God tier. But maybe it becomes a God tier in the years when the other books come out, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a 5 book series. But I can tell you a God tier. I can tell you right now a good old God tier book. It's Daisy Jones and the Six. So good. Amazing. One of the best, if not the best standalones I've ever read. Gripped me, made me cry. I loved it so much. I literally thought they were real people. Even the TV show was perfection. So nothing, no notes, nothing to say. God tier. Let's do The Spanish Love Deception. Once again, probably loved it at the time, 3 years ago, 4 years ago when I read it. I definitely wouldn't like it now. If I read The Spanish Love Deception now, I probably would give it a 2 star. It's not my kind of read anymore. But this was Coachella 2016. You know what I mean? At the time, it did the thing. It did it. I'm gonna say the same thing with The Honeymooners. It was good at the time. It wouldn't be good now. I think my taste has changed so much. So if I was reading this now, I wouldn't enjoy it as much as I did back then. Because this was Coachella 2016. Do you know what I mean? Let's go with The Atlas 6. The Atlas 6 would have been a God tier if it wasn't for the last book. The last book was extremely frustrating. I didn't hate it though, but I understand how you could hate it. I think about this every day, so it should be really in God tier. But I'm not gonna put it in God tier because I'm mad for what happened in the last book. It goes in, I think you dropped something, my jaw. If the last book didn't make me as mad, it would have been 100% a God tier because I do think about this series so often. But the last book was insane. Next we're gonna do Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I didn't put Shadow and Bone here. I should have done that probably, but anyway, we can do part 2. Six of Crows goes in, I think you dropped something, my jaw. It was great. I loved it so much. It was so good. It's a duology. I think the second book is even better than the first. I think Crooked Kingdom is great. Crooked Kingdom was a 5 stars for me. Six of Crows wasn't. I really loved it. It's so good. I wish I had more books. I just wish it was like a 4, at least a trilogy. I needed more. And I will always be mad at Netflix for cancelling the shows. I hate you, Netflix. Let's go with The XX. The XX is probably We Were Rooting For You, or You Were Good But I'm Waiting For You To Be Great. You know, it wasn't bad. It just was very surface level. Probably We Were Rooting For You. But I actually didn't hate it. I enjoyed it. It was just like very surface level. Nothing serious happened. There wasn't one conversation that had any depth to it. Do you know what I mean? It was a very silly, cute little spooky read. We Were Rooting For You. I think it's okay. But I didn't hate it. I'd like to put it out there. So let's go with Book Lovers by Emily Henry. And I think you dropped something, my jaw. It was great. I don't know if this is my favorite book by Emily Henry. It's like tied. I really enjoyed it. I love Emily Henry's writing. You just can't go wrong with her. Let's finish Sarah J. Maas. Crescent City is not a god tier for me. I don't think it's a god tier. But then again, why is it not? I don't love urban fantasy as much as I love traditional fantasies. I mean, I think You Drop Something My Jaw is great, but it's not finished, the series, so it might become god tier. So I'm gonna put it first. It's my favorite out of all of these. Do you know what I mean? Alice in Silver, the Chestnut Spring series. I'm talking about the whole series, all 5 books. I've read them all. I'm gonna put it in This Slapped. So 2 books of the Chestnut Springs, Reckless and Heartless, are incredible. Incredible. I think You Drop Something My Jaw, or I might even say Reckless might even be god tier. But Flawless and Hopeless were mid, and Powerless I really didn't like. Powerless is we were rooting for you. So average out, they slapped. It slapped. It slapped as a series. It slapped. But like then every book was so different, so I had to do an average, and the average is they slapped. But Reckless, Heartless, loved. Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. Magnolia Parks goes straight to god tier. The first book is in god tier, but pretty much then all of the rest are. Daisy Hates the Great Undoing is my favorite. Daisy Hates books in general are my favorite, but Daisy Hates the Great Undoing, I think about that book so much. I think about the Magnolia Parks universe so much. That's how it is god tier. When I can't stop thinking about you, you have to be a god tier book. I can't wait for the next book. I would do anything to have that book. Give it to me, Jessa. Please. Anything. I give you anything. I love Magnolia Parks. I cannot wait. The Archer's Voice. Very famous Booktok book. And Booktube. Everyone loves this book. Everyone but me. I might even... No, I can't do that. I'm gonna put it in We Were Rooting for You. But I really did like it. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like it. I didn't hate it though. It's not the hating game or This Is How You Lose the Time War. But I prefer the XX 10 times. I think the XX is much better than Archer's Voice. Yeah, Archer's Voice was just not for me. I didn't love it. I didn't love the relationship. I think the plot was good and the message was good. I just didn't like the relationship. The love story just didn't do it for me. A funny story by Emily Henry. We're gonna put her in I Think You Drop Something My Jaw. Book Lovers and Funny Stories. These 2 are my favorite. I don't know which one I prefer. I really enjoyed Funny Story. It came out this year. I had the arc before everyone else, and I was like, I can't wait for everyone to read this because I was in love with it. I was in love. And last but not least, we have Elle Kennedy Off Campus series. And this goes in god tier. I don't think it's god tier level of writing, but it has such a special place in my heart. I grew up with these because I was very young when I read them. I was like 17. I read them like 7 years ago, so long ago. The first one, so long ago. And I grew up with them and I just loved them so much. So the Off Campus series gets to go to god tier for that reason only, just because it means so much to me. It was the OG sport romance, interconnected standalone hockey romance. The OG. Here we go. We've done this. We've done this. There's so many more Booktok books that I could do. So many more. Say you swear. There's so many more. I could do a part 2. But I really want to tier rank all my 5-star books, so I might do that first. But I love this. I loved every second of this. I'm gonna be tier ranking again. I loved this so much. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It does help so much. Yeah, let me know what else I should tier rank, because now it's gonna be an addiction, I fear. This was actually so fun to make. I made a Booktok account like a month ago. It's called Asia's Booktok. Follow that one, and I have my normal TikTok account and my normal Instagram, everything down below if you want to go and follow me. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Ciao.